Hey, this is Tiger. Welcome to my stream. AJ, good evening to you. This is your Tygerpaw redeem. We are playing Thomas the Tank Engine in the 80th anniversary livery tonight. Donut Diplomat, good evening. Long time no see. Nice to see you on the chat again after quite some time. I hope you are doing well. Spectre. Hey, fellow equestrian. Yes, and Juniper. Hey, yeah, so nice to see you guys back. I hope that the stream is working properly now. We had some issues last week, and most probably it was all down to construction work and work at the cable installation, more or less. It was down for actually quite some time then, and then all of a sudden it returned, and for the first time ever I had a proper upstream of 50 Mbit per second, and I hope this will actually stay like this, and we will have no more lags and other issues with the stream. Yeah. So, let's turn on what we have to turn on, the disclaimer. Actually, I got the DLCs for free from DTG for being an ambassador. Nevertheless, everything, you know, that's what I say about the products here is my own opinion and is not influenced by the fact that I got it for free. Juniper says, I was watching a video with nighttime shunting in Leipzig Hauptbahnhof, and I wish they would add more of these operations in the new DLCs. Can be very interesting, coupling 3 night jets from different platforms with multiple locks on them. Yes, Juniper, totally. The whole thing with the shunting and the operations there is a lot of potential actually. Just imagine this doing with floodlights and actually people helping you doing this and giving you commands like waving their arms or using remote controls or whatever. There is still a lot. But we're getting on the Expert 145 actually working angle cogs, so the whole coupling procedure can actually be a bit more realistic and more complex. So maybe that is a step in the correct direction in this context. So Thomas, the 80th anniversary is what we are going through. 3 chapters from what I have seen. Theodoros, hello all, and thank you so much for your hints and tips for getting my stream back on track. But as it seems, mostly all we had to do was to wait for Vodafone to finish their construction work. And then all of a sudden the internet returned in a glory that we have not seen before. So at the moment I think everything is well, and we will have a stable uplink and no more frame losses. Well, got me a bit into researching this stuff and to understand my OBS a bit better. So not so bad. Another thing that I've been started working on is actually a format for doing signaling and safety system and whatever courses in short video formats, like cut it down to single thoughts, very short pieces of information, and maybe actually put them out as YouTube shorts that are organized in a certain context, so that you know in what way you can work through them, and you can use them as quick repeaters about the stuff that is already mostly in my long videos. So maybe you can expect something of that coming your way. And as always, feedback is highly appreciated, whether this is something that we can properly do or should do and make sense. I actually started well, I had fun with it so far. And then soon enough we will have to prepare a lot of stuff for the launch of Trains in World 6, and with some more American signaling safety systems. And yeah, so the end of September will be a busy month for everyone on this channel here. Theodorus, yeah, Germany and internet. It is sometimes a bit of a weird thing, right? So the 80th anniversary, there are 2 Thomas DLCs. One is the normal one where he visits the West Somerset Railway, and then there is the one with the 80th anniversary where he gets his original LBSC livery. London Brighton South Coast Railway or something like this. I think it is LBSC. I knew it when I tried to play this DLC as an unboxing stream. Then it did not work on the Epic Games Store. Now it does. Epic Games Store does not take a lot of DLCs into Trains in World 6, but those 2
Thomas's
does.
special day. Early one morning, Thomas the tank engine was waiting outside his shed at Minehead station. He was very excited, as today was his birthday, and he was looking forward to the big celebration happening that afternoon. He was admiring the station decorations when Sir Topham Hatt arrived. "Good morning, Thomas," smiled Sir Topham Hatt, "and happy birthday. I hope you like all the decorations that we've put up. We were worried you might have woken up early and spoilt the surprise."
I will always think of him as the fat controller.
"Thank you, sir," puffed Thomas happily. "They all look wonderful. I couldn't think of better decorations to celebrate my birthday." Sir Topham Hatt smiled. "I'm very pleased to hear that, Thomas." Just then, Diesel rolled into the station.
Lofty, hey. You arrived at the same time as Diesel did. Oh, he has a driver, Diesel.
"Ah, Diesel, good morning," said Sir Topham Hatt. "I've got a very important job for you." "An important job for me, sir?" "Yes, sir. Thank you, sir," said Diesel eagerly. "I need you to go and collect the furniture, more decorations and plates for the party. I've arranged for them to be loaded into the trucks, so they should be ready and waiting for you when you arrive." "Okay, sir. I won't let you down. I promise to do my best." And with that, Diesel hurried away to complete his important job. Thomas watched Diesel go, and then looked back at the brightly coloured decorations. Suddenly, an idea flew into his firebox. "As it's my birthday, sir, do you think I could have a new coat of paint?" "Well, of course you can, Thomas," smiled Sir Topham Hatt. "I'm sure they've got some blue paint in the workshop." "Actually, sir, I was thinking of a different colour." "Well then, what colour did you have in mind?" "Just you wait and see, sir." Thomas grinned and rolled back into the shed.
Let's hope he got the license for the LBSC livery. And Juniper, what did you do all day in Köln? He says, after spending a whole day in Köln Hauptbahnhof, now I hear the announcement in my sleep.
A little while later, the doors reopened and Thomas emerged, a very different looking engine.
A little while later, they are really quick.
Sir Topham Hatt grinned. "I haven't seen you painted in those colours in a very long time, Thomas." You look just like you did when you first arrived on Sodor. It only seems right that you should wear your original colours for your special day. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
the Isle
I
of
thought you would
Sodor.
like it, and I'm sure that the passengers will enjoy seeing them too. I'm sure they will, replied Sir Topham Hatt. Now then, are you ready to get started with your work? We still need to make sure that everyone gets to the party on time. Yes, sir, puffed Thomas. We'll get going straight away.
Yes, let's get the girls.
That's a good engine, smiled Sir Topham Hatt. Off you go then, and I'll see you at the party. And with that, Sir Topham Hatt turned and walked away.
You will recall that he lived actually in Sodor, Thomas, and all the friends do as well. And he's only a guest here at the West Somerset Railway. Use the throttle to get Thomas moving forwards. Whoops. That was fast. Actually, the reverser did something, didn't it? So, our little tank engine. Theodore's cartoon logic don't have to think about in real life logistics, no. That is actually so nice. They can just do a whole new paint job for the locomotive in a little while. And Donor Diplomat said to Juniper the delay announcements would haunt me for weeks. Yeah, most probably me as well. So, we're going into shunt 1. That should be to the left at this point here. Looking out of our bullseye here. Oh, and he accelerates like a boss. Well, that was I'm sorry, guys. I should have stopped. Good thing we don't have to play everything on our own. Oh, what happens now? Now we are outside of Thomas. And have to get into him again. But how can I move him now? Here we are. Oops, yeah. This is if you don't pay attention and think, well, this is child's play. I was just thinking, oh, the signals are all on. And I thought we were going to the left into the siding. I had Thomas the Tank Engine book as a kid, this lofty. Really? Actually, I have to say I really love the old yeah, movies, short movies. I've watched, I think, the first three seasons so far. And it's really cool with Ringo Starr as a narrator. And all the engines on Sodor. And, well, Thomas in Train Sim World. Switch the junction to access the correct track. So where are we supposed to go? Probably backwards to pick up the girls, right? That one is already set correctly. Juniper, it is very nice you already have timestamps on the videos on YouTube and have them in playlists. Maybe shorts could help you go viral, but maybe it would be hard to organize them on YouTube. Yeah, I have to find out how this is actually possible to organize them. And Lofty says, truthfully, Tiger doesn't strike me as the kind of person who wants to go viral. Yeah, well, it is definitely not my intention to go viral. But I always like to explore new formats of how you can, well, organize information and all the stuff that you want to have readily available in case you forget something or want to double check something. Or just get into it easily. And little tidbits of information might actually be helpful there. So, Annie and Clarabel. Bump.
Come on, you two, said Thomas to Annie and Clarabel. We've got to get to the station and collect all the people going to the party.
So, now let's actually pay attention where we have to stop. If anywhere. And can see if we get a signal here. Signal is actually letting us through already. The others can recount the brake hundertstel on Thomas, and its consist difficult because there is no brake marking on him, not even with his new green livery. And Juniper, nice for when I encounter a German signal I don't remember anymore, I can check a short video. That is the idea actually. Like, you have maybe not played Eastern German content in a while and wonder how was that with the HL signals, or how was that with those little white lights at the signals. What exactly do they tell you? And then you don't have to rewatch the whole video about German signaling, but can directly pick the one with that piece of information. That's kinda the idea. And if there is something to update because I got something wrong, or there is a new development or whatever, then I can easily change that with you. Annie and Clarabel. Oh, I almost went too far again. And now we're going back to the platform. Signal is already set. Switches to as it seems. Would be really nice if we had a bit of a more steam engine-like control setup for Thomas. So in the series, Thomas, Annie and Clarabel are working a branch line. So those two are actually his coaches that he works with every day. Whereas the big engines like Gordon and Henry, and now Edward has a branch line himself, but especially Gordon, he pulls the express on the main line, and then at a certain station passengers can switch to the branch line, and there it's Thomas, Annie and Clarabel. I think sometimes Percy helping him out. So here we are now.
All aboard for the party!
Haha, we can actually unlock. Annie and Clarabel are coaches without a corridor, without facilities, just nice compartments to sit in, and obviously a slam door train. Clarabel. They are always fighting back to back, Clarabel and Annie. Lofty, it's funny to me how, at least from my own knowledge, Great Britain and Germany only require cautionary aspects to be acknowledged, while Poland requires all signals to be acknowledged. Yeah, I think in Poland with acknowledging all signals, you get really easily Pavlovized by hitting your button every time you're getting closer to a signal. And Theodorus, to be fair, we can do a scientific test like they used to do in the old times. Run the train on certain speed, on certain line profile, and then test how long it took for them to stop. Yeah, that's true. There is actually an UIC leaflet that sets out the rules for doing this properly. And then uncouple the vehicle, and then see how long it takes for the vehicle to stop. And then we have to compare this with the 1932 standard train that has a brake hundredths of 100. And then we know. As far as I know, I think I researched it at the time, you can buy this UIC leaflet, but it is extremely expensive. Alright, they are not done. Fortunately, nobody is actually boarding the train. And now we go to Dunster. Do we have a signal? Yes. Damn, says Theodorus, that standard train is old. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure whether it was a 1932 train, but I think that is approximately the era. The 10 miles limit here at Dunster, isn't it? At Maidenhead. What is really great about this Thomas and Friends railway series is that typically all the engines that live there at Sodor have their real world counterparts. So they are not just figments of fantasy, but they do exist in a reasonably similar form. And most of the issues that are presented, at least in the early seasons, can more or less occur in real railroading as well. Like the troublesome unfitted trucks without brakes, giving the loco trouble when running downhill. So now we should be out of the 10 miles speed limit, and we can accelerate to 25. And now typically in the series there would be the music. Do 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 dum do do do. And we see Thomas, Clara and Annabelle run across the bridge and around the corner. No, that was so far away. Don't get copyright strike, Lofty. You are right, obviously. So all I can do is use what is in the game, because here there is a license for it. I always liked how this creek to the left looks since the remaster for the West Somerset Railway. Juniper, are drivers on LZB allowed to put Spotify on? Only if they are not driving the train, I'm afraid. Distance signal for Minehead. Spectre, improved suspension physics. Thomas, hold my beer. It's more like improved suspender physics. So, getting closer to Dunster. And there is this level crossing in front of Dunster, where we have to slow down to 5. What I always use as an example, that we only need to slow down to 5 miles. When we actually reach the mid of the level crossing with the tip of our train and can accelerate, as soon as we have passed the level crossing, here's already the sign, combined 5 and whistle, and that's one of the rare signs that only applies to the tip of the train. And as soon as we have occupied the level crossing, we can accelerate even if the whole train has not passed yet. Unfortunately, this has never been implemented in the game so far. Oh, Tiger, says Theodoros, with you being DTG ambassador, do we have to speak in family-friendly manner? No, not necessarily. There is no such requirement. Only question is, why would we not speak in a family-friendly manner? Why would anyone want to be not family-friendly? Only thing I have to remember maybe is to... Ah, no, we are getting passengers. Check the boxes in this declaration for YouTube, where you have to make clear if there is any violence or profanity or whatever in your videos. Hey, says Lofty, maybe I just enjoy the word. What does the format of the games always say? Love.
It looks like everyone is on board now, Thomas. Okay, Annie, let's get going. We don't want to be late.
I'm afraid we already are. Blow anchor up. There's, I meant if sometimes we said adult words terms. Yes, we can totally do that. Is Thomas the only loco without animated face? No, the faces are, except for the eyes, not animated. Obviously in the series they are. It's also a little surreal to see Thomas in a modern time frame scenario with modern crossing warnings. Yeah, I totally get that. Normally you would imagine Thomas like in a very classic 1950s, 1960s setting. With bubbly buses. Like Bertie. And bubbly helicopters like Harold. Interesting actually that this setting that we're running here, you are even able to switch off this comic HUD, this cartoon HUD that Thomas is usually using here, see? Oh, I'm speeding, am I not? Here's the sea. Don't even know what is the name of this part of the sea between Somerset and Wales, probably. Yes, we saw the caution signal. Do we even have AWS? Asks Spectre. Probably not. But we can see that the entry signal is off, even though the caution signal was on, the distance signal was on. But that means that the exit signal, the starter signal, is probably on, so we cannot pass the station at speed, at the speed of 15 miles. And Theodoro says, it's the Bristol channel. Yeah, the Bristol channel, because it is this cut between Wales and Somerset. And called the Bristol channel because it's more or less at Bristol where this cut comes to an end. And Theodoro is playing My Own, the Thomas theme song, Biggie Small remix version in the background. Why not?
It wasn't long before the three friends reached Blue Anchor Station. Thomas looked around in delight at all the brightly coloured decorations that covered the station. Just then, Sir Topham Hatt and Mr. Peters walked up to him.
Mr.
Hello,
Peters.
Thomas, and happy birthday. Good morning, Mr. Peters. Thank you. I do like your new paintwork, continued Mr. Peters. A special paint job for a very special engine. Thomas smiled, feeling very proud. I'm not sure if Sir Topham has already told you, but we've got one more special surprise in store for you, smiled Mr. Peters. Oh, thank you, sir. What is it? Both Mr. Peters and Sir Topham had chuckled. You'll have to wait and see, said Sir Topham Hatt. But we do need you to go and collect it once Diesel arrives with the rest of the supplies for the party. Thomas was very excited and began imagining all the different things his surprise might be. I do hope Diesel arrives back soon, puffed Thomas excitedly. I can't wait to see what my surprise is going to be.
Oh, that's it. Oh, yo. How were we speeding here? Well, we did not get any penalty for speeding. Some things are just nice. Oh, after my bloop with the stop, I made it to a 0.000 stop. And Juniper says these guys just teleported from station A to station B. Yeah, well, maybe they took a form of teleportation that is quite popular now, and they went in a car. Next chapter, we can just use this. Thomas, special day. And Diesel's dilemma. Now, what is it now? Thomas and Diesel discuss plans for a special before set off to complete their task. Choose here. Ah, this is what I just completed. Stupid. Diesel's dilemma. So is there actually a Biggie Smalls remix of the Thomas theme?
Diesel's dilemma. Meanwhile, Diesel had arrived at the station to collect the first set of trucks needed for the party. He was trying to be on his best behaviour and complete the job on time, without causing confusion and delay. Sir Topham Hatt is relying on me, so I must make sure I do this job well, Diesel thought to himself. He's given me this chance to prove I can be a really useful engine, so I must try not to cause any trouble. But Diesel found this harder than he realised. As he coupled up to the troublesome trucks, they began to giggle and sing.
In their silly way. Ringo Starr would have said.
Oh, it's the devious Diesel, but you don't look so rough and tough now.
Will you be quiet? Snapped Diesel. I am still tough, and I can still be rough. But Sir Topham Hatt is relying on me to deliver these goods to the party. So I'll have no trouble from you.
So are we supposed to push
The
this
trucks
thing?
giggled and began planning their troublesome tricks. Diesel was glad when they fell silent. He thought he had them under control and set off, still hoping to get to the party on time.
We're at the wrong end of the train, are we not? Use the horn. Stop at location in Y. So why would we want to do that? We are actually going to this connector where we can connect from the West Somerset Heritage Railway to the Network Rail network. So we're going here to this part that we usually are not allowed to go. Do we have a signal that allows us to proceed? Ah, there is our signal. We cannot see it from inside, but we can see it from there. I really like the paint job that Diesel has. This matte black. Looks really nice. Not so his long nose. Oh well. Troublesome trucks. Looks a bit like they raided the warehouse where Indiana Jones typically stores his stuff, his artifacts. Gun it, Tigers is lofty. This feels like an invitation to not do this job well and cause trouble. Emergency brake does not work on Diesel. Are we already? The cows. And we have a brake van, have we not? Yes, this is probably a brake van. Oh yeah, he's fast, Diesel. Look how fast Diesel can go. And he has 2 speed clocks. One for the left side of the train and one for the right side of the train, probably. This Diesel is a nifty one. Yes, and he is eager to prove that he is a really useful little engine and not just a troublemaker. This is why he has his smiley face on. So why is this place called Why, by the way? I always thought this is Norton Fitzwarrren or something like this. Can actually go 35 with this loco, but the speed clocks are not completely in unison. So now Diesel is all eager and pulling this train as fast as he can. And so far the trucks are behaving. But let's see how this looks when we're getting closer to Norton Fitzwarren. And when we actually have to slow down a bit. Because you have to realize that this train only has brakes on Diesel, the loco himself, and the brake van, and not on the troublesome trucks in between. So we're going all the way around this place here. Theodora says the emergency brake is powered by hopes and dreams. Inspector, judging by his face, Diesel is enjoying himself. Yes. Actually, the trucks behaved quite well. Now let's see if we can actually go through this part of the track that is mostly covered in mud. I still don't really know why we went here. Maybe just to shunt Diesel to the other end of this train. Because at the moment it more or less looks like Diesel is trying to steal Thomas's birthday surprise. Universe counting down in miles make no sense. You go from 1 mile to 0.9 to 0.8 and then to 1,000 yards. Yeah. And if you are on one of the American DLCs, you go to a lot of feet. There is a stop marker. Let's see if Diesel manages to stop his train without running the stop marker. Otherwise we would have to do the whole journey again. And this would suck. Nicely done, Diesel. Spectre Norton Fitzwarren would be a fitting name for a Sherlock Holmes adversary. Yes. So, what do we have to do with our switchoos? Oh no, we have to reverse the train up into this little shunting neck. Alright. Diesel, you know what to do. Did you see he almost climbed on this truck? Yep. But also this is quite nice because it shows you that in the times with your steam engines and the tenders behind them, it was not an easy bit to get them to the other side of the train. And what a really handy invention push-pull trains are, or trains that can go in both directions like most multiple units. If you don't have a turntable that is large enough and powerful enough to turn your engine, then you have to go through a triangular contraption like this one. So how far do we actually have to go into the Norton Allerford Spur? Far, far, far. And we can't go faster than 5 miles on this piece of track. Well, but I think that the remaster for the West Somerset Railway left it really in a nice condition. If you look at the scenery, the foliage makes a lot of sense like this. Even if you have still the details blopping in. ZD Radar is here and says RIP. Respect AJ's Tygerpaw redeem. You guys know for 10,000 channel points Tygerpaws you can request a Be Real with the route of your choice or the DLC of your choice, as long as I have it. And AJ requested this. Do you see emoticons? Yes, I do see it. You're using my white tiger. Tigerways. Rest in peace emoticon. Where my little white tiger is there with the X'd out eyes and the tongue. I don't mean it like I hate the content. WTF, he says. Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes you plop into the channel and then we're playing American content and you say, oh, no American content. But then I apologize, CD Radar, and welcome to the stream. Theodoros, the scenery makes me want to spawn a horse. Oh well, time to play. Yes, KCD2 again. Well, actually, this morning I had a really nice outing with Sora, my horse. It was raining all the time. But it was nice that we got to go on an outing after quite some time again. So, this Diesel. CD, you portray me as the most conceited and self-centered viewer. No, I'm not. I always absolutely respect what you're doing, and then he smiles. You know very well that you are my awesome moderator here and always welcome, and I always welcome your opinion. Set the junctions to create a path for Diesel. So actually we're not getting Diesel to the other end. We're turning the whole train around. So no coupling necessary. And here we go. And we definitely have to check out the Liberec route in real life, so that we know what we talk about when it finally releases. Sora, that word means sky in Japanese. No, it's Sora with a Z, like the Slavic word for aurora, if I'm not mistaken. Inspector says, if Diesel has a driver, why is that the case? Can he not drive himself? And who gets paid more, him or driver? Well, you have to watch the Thomas series, actually. This is a very complicated and complex relationship between the engines and the drivers and the brakemen and the firemen and the engine cleaners and the guy who builds the fire at the beginning of the day. They actually communicate and they have some shared responsibilities. The driver sometimes tell the locos what they have to do. The locos sometimes request stuff from the drivers, what they can't grant. Drivers sometimes tell the locomotives not to be too over-eager. And the locos overdo it anyway. And see, the Raider just came home from a trip to UNL. So what is that? UNL? Inspector, I did not know that. By the way, isn't there a children's book in Germany called The Red Sora? Yes. And there also used to be a black and white children's show from many, many years ago. Die rote Zora und ihre Bande. But my Zora is not red. She is black and white. Juniper. Is that the check station over the border from Bad Schandau over the track to Dresden? It is not very far away from Dresden. Usti nad Labem. Ah, now I know. So I hope you had a nice trip at Usti nad Labem. That is even closer. But it's Usti, right? Not Usti. You're missing the Hatschek on the S. Or am I overdoing it with the Hatscheks now? Ah, Usti.
But it didn't take long.
No Hatschek. Sorry, Spider. Spider. Spectre.
Tracks are wiping in the yard, tackling in with diesel. Show the world what I can do. Daily post the diesel.
So.
Oh, do be quiet. Roll diesel.
Sounds like someone's getting a little grumpy.
I am perfectly fine. Now stop that singing. Diesel continued to make his way towards the party. He wanted to bump the trucks to make them stop being troublesome, but he knew his cargo could break if he did, so he tried his best not to be annoyed by it.
Alright, so we don't bump the trucks. We're not yanking in the parking brake all of a sudden. We stretch the train and keep the train stretched nicely. Theodorus, oh, what is the time setting on the new Leipzig-Dresden DLC? I heard there would be new high-speed line from Dresden to Prague in real life. The time setting for Leipzig-Dresden, I think it is as it used to be on the original Dresden-Riesa route. And a new high-speed line from Dresden to Prague. Maybe Donor Diplomat and ZD Radar know more about that. Donor Diplomat, don't worry about the high-speed line, it'll be so long knowing 20 years probably. Stop laughing, you trucks, or I will bump you anyway. And Juniper says there is talent too, so not that long ago. Well, not super long ago. But since they are still using the trucks too on the Dostos, or the 143 on the Dostos, it is also not super modern. At any rate, it is not in 20 years in the future. So, at Crowcombe Heathfield we are supposed to stop. That means we are going right through Bishop's Lydeard. It's a bit weird here with the camera too. See the radar, the construction of such structures is hindered by villages that do not want to have a railway next to them. Ma, I can imagine. AWS burp. Diesel doesn't have AWS either. And the distance signal is on. That means we have to approach Bishop's Lydeard a bit with caution. Stop laughing, your trucks! I'm trying to be a really useful engine for a time, not a troublemaker. Donor Diplomat, it took forever for them to raise the speed limit from 160 to 200 on a small 27-kilometer section, yeah. But this is... all that is not so easy. Just getting the lines up to date in Germany, they just said recently that it will take only 5 years longer than initially thought. Spectre, oh no, I hope they are not going to cause confusion and delay. Please don't cause confusion and delay, my trucks. Alright. That signal here, one of the few color light signals on the route, is yellow. So we can go into the station area. We have to sound the whistle. And Doma Diplomat says foreshadowing. As Spectre is. Theodorus as expected. Don't laugh at me, you stupid trucks! What will the cows think? Home signal is off. We can enter. I wouldn't be so giggly if I was in your shoes. Oh, look at that. You can get an achievement for driving diesel 10 miles. Oh, isn't that Bertie? This car? No, it's not Bertie. It's just a funny little old car. But it's not a boss. So I thought they brought Bertie. You might know that episode when Thomas races Bertie, the boss. And they try to figure out what is better. Stop laughing, you stupid trucks! There are passengers. I don't want the passengers to think badly of us. This is a serious operation. No reason for giggling.
Are we there yet?
Ever heard of something like a speed limit? Stupid bunch. It's a funny idea to have 3 lines next to each other going north. Left Labe, right Labe and high speed. Right Labe is CD Radar's favorite. Inspector says that van looked like a BMW Isetta, yeah. Maybe it was an Isetta. So, now Diesel, let it out. We're going uphill, uphill. The trucks can giggle as much as they want. They cannot annoy us when going uphill. Heroes Tiger went from completing our 101 expert hardest scenario to doing this. Bing! Yes. And I spat it with the first move that I did. Stop laughing! I want to see you move, Annie and Clarabel. You troublesome trucks. You do not only not have brakes, neither do you have any kind of traction, so you can run down a hump yard. Hump! He said hump. No. Respect the Thomas Expert logo incoming. TSG, do your thing and give us the Thomas Expert. Donut Diplomat, speaking of the Expert DLC, are you excited for the new Expert DLC coming? CD Raider is laughing. The 145, yes, obviously I'm excited about it. I think maybe with a logo that is a bit more different from the 101, I could have been a bit more excited about it. But we will see. Donut Diplomat, my wallet is not excited though. Well, then wait for a sale. Actually, I have to say, this Epic Game Store disaster is really a big bummer for me, and all the enthusiasm that I had after visiting Dovetail Games. Oh my god, you're giggling bunch of trucks. Was a bit deflated when I learned about this problem with the Epic Game Store. So I have to repeat this and say that especially Alex from Dovetail Games promised to help me big time with my transitioning to Steam. But still, I liked playing on the Epic Game Store, but with this DLC disaster, nobody in their right mind can be expected to stay on the Epic Game Store with this game then. And I was building this collection over...
Are we there yet?
Who?
Please be quiet, said Diesel, trying to remain calm.
Yeah, Diesel is getting more and more gronky about those troublesome trucks. And we are not even our run in our downhill run. Juniper, what if new players buy Train Sim World on Epic Games and then only later learn about the problem? That is a very good question. That DTG more or less has to figure out with their legal team what to do and if this is appropriately communicated. Because at the moment, if you buy, for example, the special edition of Train Sim World 6 on the Epic Game Store, because you want to complete your collection and then learn that you can't, because you're losing like more than 60 DLCs that you had before. This can cause someone to walk away. From the franchise. And I think they are in this really stupid situation that they have to sell their game on the Epic Games Store because they are using the Unreal Engine. But they can't do it properly. And maybe still can't do anything that would deter people from buying at the Epic Games Store. So, well, a bit of a conundrum. And what they are doing at the moment is what in Germany is called a Vogel-Strauß-Politik, as it seems. An ostrich's policy. What is called an ostrich's policy, because the ostrich allegedly always puts his head into the sand if there is any trouble, and hopes that if he can't see the trouble, then there is no trouble. And so they stated in the frequently asked questions document, and wait for the rain come down. So, it's actually quite a long bit of track from Bishop's Lydeard to Crowcombe Heathfield. Crowcombe, maybe, without the B. I actually started playing the Welsh DLC, the Cardiff Central, this week, but I couldn't figure out so far anything that I could talk about.
A little while later, Diesel was nearing Crowcombe Heathfield station when he noticed the signal ahead was red and he had to stop.
Yeah, this is why I slowed down after getting the caution signal. You stupid trucks! There's nothing for you to laugh about. We are running uphill. Uphill you can be as troublesome if you want. Uphill you won't make any trouble for me. I can stop on every signal that I want. See? They want me to get really close to that signal, right? And now they are pulling me backwards.
He was waiting. The trucks giggled and started to tease Diesel again.
This journey is taking forever,
Called a truck.
Why didn't Sir Topham Hatt send a better engine instead of a slow engine like you?
Strong words for someone who doesn't even have a brake.
Diesel tried his best to remain calm. He didn't want to let Sir Topham Hatt down. But the trucks continued to tease and be a nuisance.
Silly Diesel!
Then there was trouble. In an attempt to quiet the troublesome trucks, Diesel rolled back and bumped them hard. Suddenly, a loud smash sounded from one of the vans, and both Diesel and the trucks fell silent. The going to get into trouble, sang a truck, and the others giggled at Diesel's dilemma. Diesel knew they were right by bumping the trucks. He had broken some of the cargo and began to worry about what Sir Topham Hatt would say when he found out. He started to panic. I must find a place to hide. I can't let Sir Topham Hatt see what I've done. So as quickly as he could, Diesel raced off with the trucks to find a hiding place.
Oh, yeah. Poor Diesel, actually. They did not show the humping and bumping, says Juniper. Yes. Well, we just raced backwards down the hill. I think that represents the bumping. Well, then the surprise. Thomas and Sir Topham Hatt are ready at Blue Anchor for the special day. But where is Diesel? At the other end of the line, running further away again.
Thomas's birthday surprise. Down the line, Thomas was still waiting for Diesel to arrive with the rest of the party supplies. He was still thinking about his special surprise and was eager to find out what it might be. But Sir Topham Hatt looked concerned. Diesel should have been back by now, he said. It won't be much of a party if our guests have nowhere to sit and no food to eat. So he turned to Thomas. Thomas, I need you to go and look for Diesel and make sure he hasn't run into any trouble. You can collect your surprise from Washford station along the way.
At the Washford?
Yes, sir, replied Thomas.
Yes, sir.
And he hurried away to find Diesel.
I am a really useful engine. And getting my special birthday surprise. But first, I have to run the hill at Stowgumber. Passing this trailer park here. And now let's see how fast we can go without any car slowing us down. I looked forward to this night every week to be here with us all as a Juniper. Oh, that is so nice of you to say that. Yeah, and I really enjoy our small but select community. I definitely do. Oh, AJ woke up again. What? Are we already at Washford? I thought we had to go across the hill first. But it appears I confused the sequence of the stations at the line. Washford is the one with the really long platform and the sidings on one side, right? Well, it's maybe true for all of them. Yeah, but it's the one that I meant. So let's see what the special surprise is. Oh yeah, they have this special signal here. Oh, here's my birthday box.
Soon Thomas reached Washford station, and he saw the station master was there waiting.
Yeah, but why is he going on?
Hello, Thomas. I've got something special.
Why is he running away?
But don't ask me what it is, as I promised Mr. Peters.
I didn't do that.
Keep it a secret until the party.
I can't wait to see what it is. And I'm sure my driver can look after it whilst we're on our journey.
Hey! He actually reached 50 miles. Thomas. You're never that fast when I can actually drive you. So back to Washford, my friend. And please don't run away when we are in the cutscene. So Diesel running backwards with the troublesome trucks might have not been intentional either. Isn't there Diesel and his train finally managed to be here after all? Your reversal probably confused the game, maybe. Maybe. Because I did not ask if I can actually set back the engine for a couple of yards. So let's see what is in this box. Here. Who's this lady with the red boots? Guarding my special surprise. Ah. Now I know what happened. If you hit one of the keys for forward or backwards just before the cutscene, and after that It runs on its own. Step up, step down. So I need to be really careful.
Now we need to keep looking for Diesel. He must
I've
be
seen
around
him.
here somewhere.
He's at the sidings.
If you're looking for Diesel, I saw him over in the sidings. Although he looked to be a little upset and was in quite a hurry. Come on, driver. Let's take a look and see if he's still there.
Years 182. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but thank you for your first chat entry. Hey, Mr. Tygerpaws, just wanted to say I very much appreciate your streams and presentations. Have learned so much about German railways from your streams. Thank you so much for saying that. Those are the things that keep me going. I should go backwards. Apply some power to get moving backwards. Reverse, Thomas. Good, we're reversing. And enter the sidings. Passing this funny hourglass signal. Okay, now I'm careful, so we don't run away in a cutscene. Is that already the path to get there? Oh, to confront Diesel. Yeah, keep up the good work, he says. I was solely driving UK routes, as I am from the UK, but have found myself trying more German routes since finding your channel, and I'm really enjoying the differences in the signaling systems. Yeah. Well, I love UK routes, I love German routes, I love American routes, and it always gets better the more you understand the signaling. And it's always great to meet people who can appreciate that. So welcome to our small but select community. And now let's bash those troublesome trucks. You guys caused my special birthday surprise to break. Hey Diesel. Why the long face?
There you are. Diesel, what are you doing hiding there? You're supposed to be at the party, delivering all of the supplies. I know, Thomas, said Diesel unhappily. But I can't let Sir Topham Hatt find out what happened. It wasn't even my fault anyway. Why? What happened? Asked Thomas. Well, the trucks were singing and being troublesome.
In their silly way.
To make them stop, so I... Oh, actually, I think maybe it was my fault. I got annoyed, so I bumped the trucks to make them stop. And I think I bumped them too hard. Because I ended up breaking all the plates needed for the party.
Oh no.
Thomas listened carefully. He could see how upset Diesel was, and how troublesome trucks could be. So he knew that the broken plates were not all Diesel's fault. Never mind, Diesel, said Thomas kindly. After all, they're only plates, and they can't all be broken. Besides,
Yeah, good thing we still have
to
the
go to.
cups and glasses.
Diesel looked at Thomas and smiled. "Thank you, Thomas," he said.
And this was the beginning
So Thomas coupled up
of a
the diesel,
beautiful
and the
friendship.
two engines travelled to the party together.
So we couple up. Theodosius Diesel will be in the tea and biscuits session. Well, no biscuits because no plates. Automatic coupling for diesel. Alright. Where are we supposed to go together now? Just a bit backwards. I always try to set the reverser. Diesel and biscuits, yes. Diesel and briquettes, maybe. It must be nice to look at each other up close like this. Yes. He's almost poking us in the eye with his long nose. Oh. And while I was doing nonsense, I overshot. Here we are. So before we switch, just look at this signal. I always was mesmerized by this signal here. Why does it have this interesting shape? Maybe so nobody confuses it with the home signal when coming into the shop here. Oh. It must be great to have your nose attached to a diesel locomotive. It must smell very good, yeah. Well, he has to live with this. Yeah, but let's do our job. We're going back to the cars and we're shunting him back to the cars, alright. But did you see the improved suspension? How they were going into their knees? How they were kneeling before actually starting. Infinite stop signal, wait forever. It is not a stop and stay. It is not a stop and proceed. It is a stop and retire. Isn't that a stop? Isn't that a signal prohibiting us from entering here? There is no signal actually that you can see here. But there is a signal. Where does this little signal come from? It's not even represented in the game, is it? Oh, that's what is used on German railway system at Diploma. That's why the trains are so late. Yeah. You can easily say that. So City Radar asks, is he injured or why can't he drive himself? That's a good point. Maybe we're just giving him a hand. Or he's reluctant to couple up to the troublesome trucks again. And now we have to go all the way to Blue Anchor. Backwards! Well... that is the interesting question. What actually is the benefit of being a tank engine? As opposed to be a steam engine with a tender. price question. The benefit is that we don't have a tender that we have to push in front of us when we're going backwards. So going backwards and forwards alternatingly is much easier if you don't have a tender to care about. And Spectre, he won't get sick going backwards, because this is what he's built for. Going backwards and forwards without having to go on a turntable. And there is actually one Thomas episode in one of the first seasons where this is explained. And Gordon, who is the big engine, the express engine, who has to push his tender if he's going backwards, has to be very careful, because tender first poses big risks for losing your tender in the process. And Spectre in particular, with his face inches away from Diesel. Well, Diesel is dead in tow now. So, your troublesome trucks, now I will show you what a tank engine can do going backwards down the slope. Sorry, I'm not very familiar with Thomas the Tank Engine lore, Spectre. Well, neither am I. But as I said, I've watched the first 2 or 3 seasons, and it is really cool. You have episodes where you meet a locomotive that has 3 axles at one end and 2 axles at the other end. With the weird axle formula of CB or Kobo, and this is actually what this guy is called. He's called Kobo or Boko. Don't know. Same, I don't know if you know Chuckington or whether it's called. I prefer that. No, I don't know that. But again, give or take Thomas lore, it is actually a real thing, that this is why tank engines were built for. To do the shunting in a more efficient way, because you don't have to take care of your tender dangling in front of you when going backwards. Spectre has just googled it, and the diesel engines look really cool. The diesel engines? Theodorus, I get the feeling Heiss would ride the cap in this backward driving scenario, but with derail valley logic, I think 030 would already explode if we haven't refilled the water at this point. Yeah, like Fraggles on wheels. Yes, your honk the horn redeem. Yeah, and the lore is somewhat fun. Says Donut Diplomat. Ah, I meant the engines on the Chuggington series. They look like Muppets. See? Those I have to Google afterwards. Now we're getting closer to Blue Anchor. Home signal is off. We have to slow down for blue anchor. Trailer park. Oh, Annie and Clarabel, we left them on the line. So let's see if the Bundeslade is in one of those boxes. The, what's it called in English? The Shrine of the Covenant or something like this. Yeah, Annie, don't look so bored. You could have come with.
When they arrived, Sir Topham Hatt was waiting for them. Diesel was still upset, so Thomas tried to explain what had happened. Sir Topham Hatt thought for a moment and turned to speak to Diesel. The broken plates may not have been entirely your fault, Diesel, but you shouldn't have tried to hide. It's always better to admit your mistakes rather than trying to cover them up.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Confess to your sins,
said Diesel sadly.
I just wanted to show you what a really useful engine I can be. But I messed things up again.
Again.
Now don't worry, Diesel. Broken plates are easily replaced. And now that you've delivered the rest of the supplies, the party can truly get started. It wasn't long before the station platform was covered in tables, chairs, and balloons. Thomas and Diesel looked on as Sir Topham Hatt stepped forward in front of the crowd to make a speech. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to thank you all for being here today to help us celebrate a very special engine. I met Thomas many years ago when he first arrived on Sodor, wearing the same colours as he's wearing today. Despite his eagerness and sometimes cheeky behaviour getting him into trouble, I don't know what we'd do without him. As it is his special day, we have one last surprise. Everyone watched as Sir Topham Hatt placed a brightly coloured blue box.
Now we're getting a hat of our own.
When he removed the wrapping, Thomas was delighted to see a beautifully decorated cake.
Oh, it's a cake.
So please join me in wishing Thomas a very happy birthday. Everyone
Biscuits
clapped
after
and
all.
cheered, and Thomas looked on smiling. Oh, thank you, everyone, puffed Thomas proudly. This is the best birthday an engine could wish for.
Here we go. I'd somehow deleting those 0.0 stops because that wasn't good at all. Alright, Sir Mayor Topham Hatt Humdinger. What's with the stop accuracy donut diplomat? Yeah, this is not proper. This is probably what I more or less yeah, where I confused the game by going too far and then going back and stuff again. Choose your next chapter. Up next, and then we can start again and cycle through it all the time. Yeah, guys, that was the 80th anniversary DLC for Thomas Tank Engine. as requested by AJ with a Tygerpaw redeem. So if you have accumulated 10,000 Tygerpaws channel points, don't hold back and request the DLC that you want to see or wanted to see all the time. And then we will do a redeem like this. That was Thomas and Friends. Here, the 80th anniversary with those 3 chapters or 3 things that we played. And here is the music, not in the Biggie Smalls remix, but in it is original sound. Times 8. Let's see here. You've got 80,000. You're just keeping your points to force me to play with the HUD on. Yeah, like what I said, we're getting closer to the release phase of Train Sim World 6. On a Diplomat, I have 4k points. Guess gotta wait a bit. It's alright. Perfect. We will have a lot of content then again, and there is still a lot of content in the game. Next week, I'm not quite sure if I actually make it back in time, because I'm actually traveling through the Republic to Rhineland-Palatinate and back again with my Deutschland ticket, and we will have to see what happens then and if I actually get around to prepare something. But maybe we will just do a B-reel then when I'm back and I was not able to prepare something. Yep. And I don't know when the Train Sim World 6 embargoes lift, so that you can maybe expect some pre-recorded videos for that time. Depends on how smoothly the transitioning to Steam will work, because it obviously has to be done before and happen before, so that I don't have empty tracks and empty DLCs without the layers. CD Radar, well, I want you to do something, but I don't want to force you to do that. But that is a good approach, and obviously you can always ask me to do stuff, and I am more than willing to do that. The 10,000 points redeem is more like a gimmick, because the points are there and you have to put something as a reward out. And since we are not a commercial channel, there is actually not really a lot of reward that I can give you, especially since I want to share my stuff and my content with everyone, regardless of someone paying or not paying a subscription or a membership or whatever. Yeah, CD Radar, feel free to suggest, and I will always try to comply within reason. Apart from that, have a nice week, be nice to each other, and make the world a better place with what you can do. Nice stream. See you all, says Theodorus. Yeah, it's always nice. Take care, man. This is yours. 182. Nice one, Tiger. Take care. Donut Diplomat Juniper. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, thanks, everybody. And have the greatest of times. Bye-bye.